Previously, when we were trying our best to stop the bugs from causing more destructive mayhem, we realized that since we managed to stop the bugs, we didn't know what was next for us. Sure, maybe some stuff along the way probably made stuff a little bit more challenging, like the time when we were trying to climb up the tower and we almost got hit by bug eggs. Well, rip Alex, as sadly he did get hit by those bugs, which was a little bit unfortunate once he accidentally hit the ground by the bugs. But anyways, we found out that after we defeated the bugs, we were worried that something else could possibly happen in the timeline. So we tried our best in order to save the day. After previous incidents, we felt like it would only make sense so that way we can stop the timeline and destroy the Oilite one final time, so that way no further incident happens. We managed to break the Oilite from earlier, however, we worried that if this keeps going on, more timeline iniquities could possibly happen. We do not know what is next for us. But as long as it's not important, well, possibly if it is important, and we've mostly been here for almost 4 parts, we felt like we tried our best to save the day. I want to go over some notable things that we went over during this dumb bug invasion. Like, the last time we were defeating the bugs is when we were trying our best to climb the tower and stop the tower from manipulating power diseases, or otherwise the timeline would get affected by it and would end the entire world. We found out from this one time that we found out that once previously the bug egg unfortunately unraveled with its mighty bigness. However, we found out that the Oilite was responsible for this incident and caused the egg to crack open and reveal itself to be a very dangerous power source. After that, we have to be able to make sure that nothing bad happens, or otherwise the causes would be extreme. After the bug egg broke open, all the bugs were set loose. And all the bugs decided to make a plan that they would decide to rule the world, making a bigger and more powerful plan, saying that they would rule the world when they bring their leader and start an apocalypse so big that everyone was scared and found out that they did not know whether or not these bugs would be defeated. After that, the bugs decided to rule our world and decided to take their responsibility. Soon the sky turned green and the bugs started falling on the ground. Alex first discovered them and he was kind of scared. However, due to the Oilite's power, it kind of made it more of a bad threat. Once the sky turned green, we found out about it, and we were worried that we may not win by ourselves. We found the city covered in ooze thanks to the bugs who previously did this. We talked about why this happened and all that stuff, but we found out one thing and one thing only. If these bugs wanted to rule the world, then why should we do it? It's the only reason why that all of us are doing this in the first place. And besides, these bugs are way too powerful, and it's the first time that me and Alex did it alone. We were worried that if we did it alone, we would probably not win to the bugs. And we were also worried that we may obviously have some downsides while we were doing this, saying it would be way too impossible in order to do it. Sure, Alex is smart and all, but still, even though he has some good inventions, sometimes it may not work, and we could be fooled by it. Then, Alex saw what happened, and a bug managed to get on my head. And we started to freak out since the bugs were taking over control. Alex thankfully managed to take care of them. Well, yeah. Then there is this team called the Villain League. Obviously, they're just a league who, obviously by the name, are villains. Sure, they may be villains and all, but they're actually really useful. When me and Alex find out about them, we tried our best to convince them to help us because of what the heck was going on with the bugs. They decided to agree. Bulky and Robotty, who were mostly the new recruits at the Villain League, decided to look into what was going on with the bugs. Bulky first found out when logging into his Chromebook and found out about it. They talked about what a plan should be and talked about what the heck they should do, or otherwise things could get worse. Oh yeah, remember Future Mike? You know, that guy who is the future version of me, and he got sent back in time to, well, the day we first met. Well, he's actually back after he found out that he decided to use the new time-traveling machine he built back then and be able to send him back to the present timeline he was meant to be in. After that, me and Alex thought it only makes sense if we joined them just for the sake of it, worrying our defense may not be that strong in order to save the day. After that, we decided to manage to team up with the Villain League, but we were worried that something else may threat. The Villain League thought it only makes sense for them in order to travel through the caves, in order to get the legendary and useful source, in order to stop the bugs, that being the freeze juice, a very useful item in order to freeze bugs in order to get them for their advantage. They decided to use this as a way to stop the bugs, or otherwise things would probably get even worse. Future Mike used the freeze juice in order to create more and more of them, in order to use it as an advantage to stop the bugs, making them more powerful. Using DNA and chemical resources, he managed to create more and more freeze juices and make them with the perfect formula. Me and Alex decided that since the freeze juice was now an advantage, we decided to go to the Villain League in order to figure out what was going on. But then, the place exploded. I found out about this and, well, it was destroyed entirely. I didn't understand why this happened, but it was probably a bad thing. If it was a bad thing, then it was not looking good for the bugs, or heck, even the Villain League in general. The bugs had more of a better advantage since now the entire Villain League is destroyed. Since the Villain League's destroyed, I decided to wake up Alice to see if he was okay. Thankfully he was. But me and him were very concerned on what was going on. Finding out since the Villain League is entirely destroyed, we were worried that now the freeze juice was probably now everywhere, meaning that now the bugs were probably going to use it to their advantage and probably rule the world even more. We were worried that this could affect almost everything the entire world had. Then Alex noticed the entire Villain League flying in the sky and landing into the ground. Once they did, I found out that Future Mike came back. I was questioning on how he returned. He looked at me, and he was scared. He remembered the time he tried his best to kill us with the guns he had and other powerful resources. When I saw him, I was very upset, explaining the fact on why he would do this to us. However, he tried to explain that it was an accident and saying that he wouldn't hurt us because of the fact that the bugs invasion was getting even worse. I complained a little bit too much, but I can really understand later on that he didn't want to hurt us. He wanted to help us after what happened previously. He did apologize, but I was kind of concerned once we first met him on how he returned after we sent him back in time. Probably he used a time machine like I mentioned earlier, but still, I had questions I wanted to tell. After that, we decided to discuss a new plan. Since the freeze juice was now everywhere, and also there's a chance that it could be extinct or probably gone forever, we were worried that our chances of winning were probably going to be very hard to do in order to stop those pesky bugs. However, Future Mike had a new plan. He told us that he would lead him to his brand new lab since the previous one exploded into ashes thanks to, well, what I know is that he told me that there was an incident wrong and a bug probably went in, controlled with the wires or something like the settings or anything like that that was related to the building, probably got messed up and exploded and ruined the entire thing. But after that, once we managed to get in, we went to his new research lab in order to research what was going on or if there was anything bad that was going to happen. However, we found out that the bugs had been plotting a plan and saying that they got new powers and brand new abilities, making them even stronger, better, and more improved. When we found out about this, we were really concerned at first, but we thought it wasn't a big deal since we all had abilities too. However, they mentioned that they were building a tower that was going to be super strong, that any power that was resources that they managed to get will be entirely used, and it will use in order to plot the entire world entirely. When everyone found out about this, we were surprised and very concerned and scared. We were worried that if this was going to go on forever, then it would probably be a bad idea to do. After the whole incident, when we tried our best to get up the tower, we managed to caught up to the bugs. The bugs were right there, messing around with everything. And yes, we found out that Future Mike was dead from the bugs too. But that doesn't matter. Anyways, once we managed to caught up, we saw them, the bugs holding bug eggs. We found out about this because we managed to see them, and they were the ones who were responsible for throwing at us. Once we found out, we were upset and tried to explain that it's not a good idea. Yeah, but still, it's a bad idea. And obviously they tried their best in order to kill us all. And there was nothing we can do about it. At first, I thought a little bit concerned, but I didn't care even a single bit. I didn't want to listen to them at first. I thought like this plan was stupid, but I didn't care. As long as we were responsible for this, it didn't matter anyways. Once we managed to do that, Roboty managed to activate his water ray and be able to spray the bugs. However, since the radioactive thing is bad to water, it unfortunately had a malfunction, and well, you can tell what happened next. And after that was responsible, well, the entire building literally exploded. We're ready for what's next no matter what. Yeah, woohoo! Yeah, we did it! Yeah! Well, it all settles it now. Congratulations, team. We managed to defeat those dumb, pesky bugs. Woohoo! Yeah! I'm so happy we managed to defeat them. Yep, me too. Thanks to the fact we managed to defeat those dumb bugs, we finally managed to save the day once again. And plus, nothing's gonna get in our way this time. We did it, team. We actually did it. Yeah, I'm kind of happy we defeated those bugs. Those bugs felt more like a huge threat than ever. You believe that we kept doing this for more and more? You think it would probably make people upset? Probably, I guess. Yeah, same. But I mean, hey, since we managed to defeat those bugs, I think it only makes sense we celebrate. And we managed to do what it takes in order to save the day. And it wasn't so challenging either. Since we did this really right, I think it only makes sense that we celebrate by handing everyone some yoyo berries in order to celebrate today's party by defeating those bugs. Yeah! That tastes amazing. Yeah, I'm glad we managed to finally eat after 4 weeks, but oh well, it doesn't matter anyways. We managed to save the day from those bugs, and there's nothing they can do about it. And plus, we killed almost all of them, so they're extinct forever. Yeah! Anyways, well, now what? I don't really know. Since we defeated those bugs, there isn't really much we can really do. The only reason why we defeated those bugs is that way we can get our revenge after what they were doing to us. Plus, I think it only makes sense for them to do it. Yeah, I agree. We defeated those bugs because they felt more like a threat rather than what they were meant to be doing. But it doesn't matter anyways because we saved the day. Plus, I think it was worth it anyways. Those bugs are really annoying, and plus, I hate them. They really think they were so smart enough to get us, but in reality, since we teamed up together, I think it only makes sense we managed to celebrate. Yep, I agree. Well, Ed's glad too about the Yoilite and stuff. Oh yeah. If we didn't stop that Yoilite from destroying almost everything, then not only will all of us be permanently killed, yes, but also because we may have to ruin the timeline because of that Yoilite. And it was all those bugs' fault. So if we didn't defeat those bugs and be able to save the day from realities and time, then, well, it wouldn't be like that anymore. But I mean, hey, we saved the day and that's worth it. So I think it only makes sense we just celebrate for the day. Yep, it's a good thing too, because I'm proud about what we did in the first place. Yep. Well, yeah, they're right. What should we do now? I don't really know. Since we managed to defeat those bugs, we'll have to do something else for a while. I mean, hey, at least we don't have to deal with any more huge threats. Wait, what? Why are we going up? Wait a second. I think I can calculate what this is. I think something's pulling us. What in the world is pulling us? I think my guess is that it could be a magnet. Oh my gosh, for once, Bulky actually talked. Yeah, I didn't receive that much screen time anyways because my creator left me out on almost every scene. Oh well, doesn't matter. We're getting pulled by a magnet. That's a huge threat, you know. Yep, we're probably toast. We're not toast. Okay, how the heck did we get up here? Yep, he was right. It was a magnet. Of course it would be a magnet. Oh, goodness. The timeline. It's getting even worse. Yep, of course it would be. I mean, it's gonna get worse anyways. How the heck are we meant to save the day if there's nothing we can do? Look, we'll trust and respect. That's it. We need to be able to be responsible. What the heck? What happened to me? Why am I metal? What's going on? Same! I'm metal too! What the heck? Why would they do this to us? What happened? What made me turn into metal? I don't understand. Same. I'm also metal. For greatness. Wait a second. Future Mike handed us those berries. Future Mike, what the heck did you do to us? What were those berries made out of? How did we able to turn into metal? I don't understand. How did this even happen to us? You have questions you need to tell, buddy. Well, I forgot to tell this to you. But the yoyo-berry side effects do include that if you eat it, you will turn into metal. Sorry, I forgot to tell you about this, earlier when you guys were eating it. I am very sorry. So you're saying that if we eat this, we'll turn into metal? Are you kidding me? Why did you tell us earlier when we were eating them? Also, where the heck did you find them? Did you find them in some dumpster? No, I just found them out of nowhere. I thought they were tasty to eat because, first of all, we had no food in 4 weeks when we were defeating those bugs, and second of all, it makes sense to eat them. So I don't care whether or not these side effects include them. Well, I found out until now that it does turn you to metal, so I didn't know about that. You don't have to rub it in my face, you know. I think Major Mike's right. We probably should have looked before we eat it. But still, I'm still mad at him because he was the one who literally almost made us turn to metal. Actually, we should blame for those berries. If it wasn't for those berries, then we probably wouldn't even know what they were even made of. Yeah, I agree with Mike. If it wasn't for those berries, then, we wouldn't know what to do. Also, ha!